Welcome to the Budhole. It's your chance. Do your dance at the Budhole.
The fucking
Here's a hot
cooking will
take.
over on Gage's rage.
What?
Back again.
What is
Butthole's
that?
back.
It's a
Tell
little
your
symbol
friends.
thing on the.
Oh, goddamn. That butt. I was like,
Butthole
what's
coming
this?
at you.
Am I hearing the headphones are jacked already?
We just want to say
need
before
a
this
new
thing
one.
starts,
We can't record
so
on this
much
shit.
for loyal
It's for
listeners,
$30.
and here you go with another great Budhole podcast. Brought
I
to you
should've got the
by
blue
Star
ones.
Mars, Brandon, Gage's Rage, and Scott on the Budhole Podcast Network.
You got the ends.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Budhole Podcast, episode number 146. This episode is brought to you by two amazing sponsors. We'll kick it over to Gage's Rage for sponsor number one.
Well, that clicking that you hear in your ears is actually Gage's Rage's thoughts coming through in Morse code. Tick, 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 tick.
Very slow, just like that. That says Shock Fantasy is one of the best sites out there. If you're a fantasy football player, dynasty, daily fantasy sports, or just like to play a yearly league with your buddies, look up Shock Fantasy. Use the promo code BUDHOLE.
How
That's
do you spell that?
BUDHOLE. That's how you spell butthole.
Again, be careful on your Google searches because you might get something, well, maybe you want it.
Matt Harrison is the creator of Shock Fantasy. He's a Minnesota guy at heart. He gave the Butthole an awesome deal, dropping that price down to $25 for a yearly membership. When you cut that up to a daily price, that's 6.9 cents per day.
I think it even might be 0.69 cents a day.
Even better.
And I think this is over a year.
No. $0.69 a day?
Cents.
Cents.
Did I say dollars?
It's 6.9 cents per day, just to clear the air. Star's right.
Nailed it the first time. So Matt Harrison hooked up the Butthole. We give you promo code BUDDHOLE when you sign up for Shock Fantasy.
If you
it gives
use
you a
it
pretty sweet discount.
for DFS, it could be $1,000 value for $25 because you could win money with it, and you should win money with it. It's very extremely helpful.
DFS, what is that, Brandon?
Daily Fantasy, and one of our sites, another sponsor that we have is Thrive Fantasy. It is a daily prop bet. You can do NHL, MLB, NBA, or real sports like NFL.
Or the realest sport of them all, League of Legends.
Esports.
Can you do that?
You can bet on anything. Counter-Strike Go,
My
League
God.
of Legends. The possibilities are endless on Thrive Fantasy.
I would recommend only betting on that if you know what you're doing because it's real money. You're playing for real dollars in prize pools against other people. You're picking out of 10 props for NFL, such as Kirk Cousins throwing for 237.5 yards. So you're picking over or under. The higher the point total, the riskier it is. You rack up the most points to win your portion of the prize pool.
Throw in promo code BUD. Put a couple dollars in your wallet. They'll match it. You have to put at least 20 in to get the match.
They don't do this DraftKings match where you have to play a match and then you get $5. And you have to play another match and you get another $5. You get 25. Well, you get whatever you put in. I think it's up to $250. So anywhere between $20 to $250.
Sure, we'll go with it.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, Thrive's the best.
And they match it instantly. You can play with that money day one. It's a lot of fun. I won money this weekend. I won money a couple weekends ago. I'm now even.
Hell yeah.
Nice. We're like even.
Thank you, Thrive.
With that being said, do you guys want to get into the podcast? Get into some 3 words or less, or does Gage want to air his butthole
I
beef
do have
first?
a butthole beef. So
oh, here we go.
if
All
you
right,
guys
Star,
have
we're
paid
the judges.
to the fantasy football mailbag that we, the Butthole Network, do on Sunday mornings. If
9
you
a.m.
haven't seen it yet, check it out. We got awesome stats, thankfully, from Shock Fantasy and Matt Harrison. But I had a dud pick this week of Michael Thomas. And Sunday morning, by about 9 a.m., Michael Thomas was active. He was not on the injury report, and he was projected just under 18 points.
He wasn't active. He was questionable.
He was active.
Questionable. He was questionable.
That's still, you can pick a questionable player. In the
Who is
Butthole
still
mailbag.
projected 18 points. And a guy that's recovering from a high ankle sprain is what I brought up to point and saying, I don't think he's a good play. He's got his bye week next week. I don't think Michael Thomas produces at 18 fantasy points this week. I picked him as my dud. Later this afternoon, we learn, and I would like to say this is about 1:30, 2 o'clock. We learned that Michael Thomas is a scratch from the Saints because of some altercation off the field or on the field.
I believe Malcolm Jenkins called him Slant Boy, and he got mad and punched him in practice.
Did you show him his Offensive Player of the Year award?
He tried to.
So
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, something like that is who he punched.
Okay, all right, semantics.
if you took Gage's rage advice, he wouldn't even be in your starting lineup. You would have had your noon o'clock guys in the games, racking up points. Your CD Lambs, that was a 4 o'clock game, but other
Your
guys
Chase
that played
Claypools.
your Chase Claypools, you would have hit some studs, but instead, you risked it. You get 0 points. You guys said I have to audible and get a new dud pick with the 4 games left that were optionable, and I said this is bullshit. Michael Thomas is a dud. He's going to get 0 points. If you were to listen to Gage's rage, the dud hits.
We never said that you had to. We just said it would have been a null. It would have been 0. Nothing. It wouldn't have counted for you. It wouldn't have counted against you. It would have been, your butthole mailbag would have been out of 7 players instead of 8. You wouldn't have drawn anything for him because he didn't take the field, which is the right thing to do.
He was projected 18 points when I picked him as a dud.
Is
he going to get more than 18 points this week?
I see his point.
I don't.
When he made the pick, he was projected 18 points. He's getting 0. So at the time of his pick, he correctly saw him as a dud.
The dud hits.
For the sake of the mailbag integrity, we can't allow that to be a dud hit.
The mailbag integrity.
We do, because otherwise, what's going to happen is we're going to then take. I'm serious. We're going to then start allowing.
Did you see who was the number 2 receiver in ESPN projections this week?
Something's wrong with you. Really.
Michael Thomas.
Gage's
You know who's
rage.
not going to be number 2 this week? Michael Thomas.
You're
Dud
opening
hits.
the door for us to pick questionable players that we know are trending not to play. And then we're going to say, oh, that's a hit.
He was not projecting to not play.
He was questionable.
He was
Thrive
Michael
Fantasy,
Thomas was questionable.
right? What would Thrive Fantasy do? Had they had a prop bet for Michael Thomas,
It would have been a wash.
you bet an under. Plus or minus 1.5 touchdowns. You bet under. He gets scratched late.
What Thrive Fantasy would
They
do
have
is
a
you
backup pick.
you pick 2 ice picks. So if a player doesn't play or a game gets canceled, like the Denver game, then it goes to an ice pick, one of another 5 options that you can pick from.
So you're picking out of like 15 total options. You pick their first 10, and then you pick 2 ices out of the remaining 5. Ices would
But they
replace
wouldn't-
the Michael Thomas.
They wouldn't give you the under pick if he didn't play.
No. But for the butthole mailbag, I think it definitely hits.
No, that hasn't been the precedent, and it's not going to be the precedent moving forward.
Well, we
No.
should set the precedent right now.
The precedent's been set. We told Gage, and it was 2 of us out of the 3 that were part of the mailbag, said it would have counted as nothing.
What
it wouldn't
happened?
have been
Where was the 4th member?
a miss or a hit. He was still sleeping.
Bad wings.
At 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It wouldn't
I
have
was
been
still
a
drunk picking Michael Thomas, okay? This is a dud hit.
hit. Okay.
If you would have
know what?
listened...
Because we're a podcast of the people, let's take this room of
Not
4.
above, but equal.
I think we have to be taken out because we're just going to wash.
No.
The jury's over here.
Okay, fine. We'll go to the jury. What do you guys think should be the precedent moving forward regarding questionable players and picking them for the butthole mailbag? Go, say your piece.
Can I just plead one more case?
Oh, great. Here we
Even
go.
if the projection is 0,
My
he's not
Venmo?
breaking 0.
My Venmo is
So it's
Brandon
still a dud hit.
Stein-14. If you're buying votes, I'm here for
Did you
sale.
check your Venmo?
I want to
You might
make
have a
one
payment
point
from
here,
Gage
too,
already.
before you guys vote. Because Gage got to make a point. I think I should get to make a point.
I just want to say I'm glad how you guys are allowing each other to talk. You're not talking
It's
over
civil.
each other. This is good debate.
We
Great.
have 2 moderators here.
Okay, so here comes the low blow. Great
Okay,
listeners.
No, your time's done.
Great listeners of this podcast. This is what happens
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
when your
Thank you,
mailbag
thank you,
hit
Mr. Scott.
Thank you.
is
Thank
at
you.
a
Thank you.
36%
The
clip.
votes are in.
30 seconds are over.
When you're hitting at a 36%
Moving on.
clip, you get desperate and you start asking for people like this to be hits as far as your picks go. And quite honestly, if
Thank
I
you,
was
thank you,
picking,
co-founder Scott.
if I was picking at 36%, I would do the same thing. I
My
would be
next question,
grasping for straws
and this
too.
is to you, Scott. Say that the suspension did not come out until this game was just about to begin. How
Monday
would that have
afternoon.
played? How'd you have played that?
This is the thing, you guys. You just take it as nothing. It doesn't count for you. It doesn't count against you. That's okay to do. Gage was in a precarious situation because he guaranteed he was going to hit at 75%, And so for him to take that as a nothing would have meant he would have had to hit 6 out of 7 mailbag picks. That's why he had an obligation to pick another pick.
Thank
no,
you, Gage.
here's
Do you
the
have a
deal.
rebuttal?
I do have a rebuttal. My picks are horrible, okay? I pick a stud, he breaks his fucking ankle. I pick a dud, they get 3 touchdowns. I can't win on this deal, okay? My dud pick for going against the Pittsburgh running game, number 1 rush defense in the league. Oh, what does he do? He rips off a 75 fucking yard touchdown in the first quarter, okay? You can't win with studs and duds. But this dud was a win.
I don't know. I think I'm winning.
Right,
If
Time
you
is
had
up,
taken
Gage.
no,
Time
5
is
more
up.
seconds.
Another question.
35
Nope.
seconds.
One more
If you
question.
had taken Michael
Gage?
Thomas and played him at noon, you'd be fucked. If you listen to Gage's rate, you'd be saved.
All right.
That would have been the first time that you should have listened to Gage's rage.
Last question. This is for Gage.
Zach
and then
Ertz
we'll
dud
go
hits.
into our debate, moderation, picking, whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. So we're talking about precedent, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do a weekly pick 'em where
True.
we go off of the odds on Monday,
We do.
and we count those odds regardless of whether they
How
change.
the line changes. It is
throughout the
picked
week.
today.
We've never had anyone come back and say, "Hey, they're not an underdog anymore. You got to pick a new team."
Thank you,
How do
Star.
you feel that should be reflected with your studs and duds pick?
This was a point that was brought up last year. I said I would do my homework. I didn't. I'm a procrastinator. But this is a good point. There's lines that aren't even set yet because teams haven't finished their games.
Learn what you have learned.
Stop procrastinating. It's bad for everybody.
If the precedent needs to be set about studs and duds, it needs to be set about locks and long shots. If your locks and long shots, which Scott is a very big leader right now, had changed throughout the week, I think those should be washed. So you shouldn't even have your 20 games or however many we've picked so far in the year.
Okay, what are you claiming here now?
If
I
you're
wasn't listening.
long
Can you
shot-
repeat the part of the stuff where you said about the things?
So I like to pick real long shots and real duds, right? But some guys like to pick ones that are a little more floaty, like maybe 1.5 point favorites. You pick the long shot of a guy that is only supposed to lose by 1.5.
Oh, so Minnesota Vikings over the Seahawks isn't a long shot?
You had one pick.
weird.
Congratulations. Out of 20, that's not a very good hit percent. If your hit percent was based off of the odds that were released right before kickoff, maybe your long shots aren't actually a long shot anymore. So, with the precedent being set for studs and duds, does this also equate into our locks and long shots?
I would say no.
Why?
I think you're just
What's the
losing in
difference?
everything right now, and you're bitching to make up a fucking bitch fest.
You're
quite
not.
honestly.
You're third.
No personal attacks.
I do.
second to
in this
last.
debate.
I truly do feel this way.
It's a butthole beef. I'm airing it out.
We record the
Michael
podcast.
Thomas was a dud hit.
We
You
record
said-
the podcast on Monday nights. We can't help if locks and long shot lines move from that Monday to that
We
Sunday.
air Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock.
The mailbag.
If
You're
you
arguing
were to
two completely
listen to
different things.
Gage's rage, the dud hits. He was projected 18 points at 9 o'clock.
You said you went to North Dakota. You actually went to North Dakota State.
Where is the difference? What is the precedent being set here, Scott? When it helps you, we can do it. When it doesn't help you, we can't do it.
Scott has turned color now for you guys listening.
He's
at
about
home.
to turn the color of his heart purple.
You've never seen
thought it was
somebody
black.
more red. Well,
Okay, let me just ask
he
Star
didn't
and
cry
Brandon.
during Big Fish.
Let me
so-
just ask Star and Brandon.
There's nothing
If,
there.
if on Sunday morning a player's picked that's questionable to play, and they end up not taking the field at all, whether you pick them to be whether you pick them to be a stud or a dud, should that picked player count as a win or a loss if they don't take the field at all?
My first initial thing is if you have the opportunity to swap a player when you found out that they're out, you should swap the player. My second thing is, let's say it's an injury at a game time decision. This was made as, it wasn't an injury based deal. It was an on-field altercation. I would say if a player is, let's say 11:59, determined that they are out and they are not going to play, and you pick them as a dud, you are now picking 6 out of 7 that week. Or 7 instead of 8.
Can I throw an example? Tyrod Taylor 3 weeks ago. Had you picked him as a dud, that was right before the game started. They said Herbert's starting. How would we play that out?
7 for 7.
It would have been out
That's
of
what I
7
would
instead
say.
of out of 8. Yeah, he wouldn't have counted for you or against you.
The thing is, this is for the listeners and the people watching the mailbag. So when we make an altercation, like let's say Michael Thomas, and you pick an alternate for Michael Thomas because you found out he's out. They don't see that because we're off air at this point. So that's more so just for numbers and stats. Right?
Exactly. And I would like the opportunity to pick out of the full array of games, not just games after 4 o'clock.
Yes, but wasn't he?
Then why would you not pick one of any
He was
players that
scratched
aren't
at 2
carrying a
o'clock.
questionable designation?
He was scratched at 2. You can check the text messages. It was
Gage.
after I woke up from my nap, I had to pick a new dud.
When we're recording the 9 o'clock a.m. Mailbag, you have every opportunity to pick a player that doesn't have an injury designation at all at that point. You could pick anybody.
But why would I not go with the number 2 wide receiver who's coming off a high ankle sprain a week before his bye? It doesn't make sense.
This is what you're failing to recognize, is that we weren't going to count it as a loss or a win. It would have just been a wash. It would have been a nothing. And you could have taken that and been perfectly okay with that. But instead you picked a substitute.
This is getting a little long-winded. All I was saying was, if you listen to Gage's Rage, Michael Thomas gets 0 points.
Okay, now that's what you're arguing. Originally,
that's
you
what I
were
said.
saying it should have been a win.
Yes, the dud hits. It should be a win.
You can have it both ways, though. You can have it not count as a yes on your percentage, as far as a hit on your percentage, but it can also be beneficial for the listeners. It can be both ways.
It was, and the dud should count.
No, it shouldn't count, because he didn't even take the field.
Exactly. He was projected 18 points.
Okay, then I pick Michael Vick as my dud at quarterback next week, and I'm going to hit on that.
Okay.
What's his projection?
0. He's not in the league. He's
He's going to be an absolute dud.
UA, unidentified object.
Here's the thing.
Don't talk about his head like that.
You can't not pick a player who's got a questionable designation because a player can play questionable and re-aggravate an injury, and that's a reasoning for them being a dud. Julio Jones coming in off a hamstring injury, you could consider him a dud because he could be used as a decoy. He could be re-injure himself during the game or aggravated or whatever the deal is. I agree when a player is ruled out before the game, I'd say you have the opportunity to make an adjustment, and if you don't, it's just you're picking out a 7 that week.
So my Dak Prescott pick is a scratch because he was hurt?
He played.
He got played, and he hurt. Michael Thomas never played.
Let's get Star's opinion on this before we decide to make a ruling going forward.
I think we should just go to a vote.
Yeah, let's just fucking move on.
Out of 4 people?
The vote's already dead.
All right, let's go to a vote then. Should a player that you pick as a stud or dud that does not play a single snap count as a hit or a miss, regardless of whether you pick them as a stud or a dud? Should they count? Or should they just be omitted from the percentage?
I'm confused on your wording. If a player doesn't play, are they annulled? So they do not count. So you're out of 7.
That's what I just said. I just said it
but in a lot
little
more words.
Just because they're bigger words.
You have 30 seconds.
All right. No,
all right, vote.
I have one question before we go on. Does ESPN adjust projections mid-game, or does it lock when a game
At
starts?
2 o'clock, the projection was 0 points now.
Yeah, but I'm saying like during games and stuff like that.
No.
Do they lock before it starts?
It keeps them locked throughout the whole thing.
Whatever ESPN's projection is pre-game, that's what we go with. It's 0. No, I'm disagreeing with you, Gage.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
No, I thought you were saying like 9 o'clock when we make the picks.
No,
just like we make the
think
picks
you
on
gotta,
Lock and Long Shot.
You got to go with it right before the game starts. There's no punishment for picking it.
There's no reward. There's
There's
no
a-
punishment.
There's an allowance for you to
That being said,
pick a
are we
different
going
person.
to move forward with this in long shots? Check the lines right at noon.
No.
If your upset is no longer an upset, that's a wash. It doesn't even count as a pick.
No,
Why?
I think that's apples and tangerines.
it is.
I think it's oranges and
I think
tangerines.
that's pamplemousse.
I think that's bats and pangolins. Pangolins.
What's a pangolin?
It's kind of looks similar to like a shrew, but also a porcupine.
That's not a bird?
No.
I would have butthole bet that it was a bird.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like a ground rat. Of
Can
some
we move
sort.
on to 3 words or less now? Perfect. All right, kicking off 3 words or less. The Buccaneers played at the Bears on Thursday night. The Bears win 20-19. My 3 words or less for the game. I have worst best team, but they're not technically the best. The Bears are not a good team, but they have a good record.
I have a butthole beef.
Go.
I have it with Star Lamar. Every week that we're here.
Hold on, I'm going to start listening now. I heard my name.
Every week that we're here, I have a 12-pack of LaCroix sitting on my mini fridge. ready for you at any point in time. And every week, you bring your own LaCroix.
I didn't know it was for me.
I'm being a good host. Nobody in this house drinks LaCroix. We care about ourselves.
That you just got. That's water.
It's flavored water.
That's what you're drinking with alcohol in it.
Well, that's better. Nonetheless, butthole beef over. I just saw the box. Do you want to grab me one?
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Jacksonville at Texans, 30-14. Texans win. Gage's rage.
I'm going with Watt's cooking. It was a J.J. Watt and Brandon Cooks kind of game. Watt was all over the place. Cooks was all over the place. Jacksonville looked like crap.
Fair enough. Star Lamar is MIA, grabbing a drink. But Star Lamar, when you come back, we have, thank you, the Bengals at the Ravens, 27-3. Ravens win. What do you have to say about that game?
Oh, am I up?
Yep, you're up.
Oh, okay, sorry. How about defense is king?
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Their fantasy wise defense fucked me by the Baltimore Ravens. Had damn near 30 points. A couple touchdowns, I think. Lots of sacks. Yep, they didn't really have to do much. Burrow wasn't very hot at all.
Defense is king. And I have another butthole beef. How do you put this piss water in your body? This is disgusting.
You're having it warm.
It's room
That's
temperature.
your biggest mistake. It needs to be ice cold.
If there's no booze in this, there's no point in drinking it.
When you're mowing the lawn in the summer, and you got an ice cold one of these in your Yeti, crack it, chug it, till you fucking cry, dude. I'm telling you.
I'm almost crying right
There's
now.
our LaCroix water review.
Panthers at Falcons, 23-16. Panthers win. I'm going to call that on thin ice. Dan Quinn let go. And what's the Robert Blank? Is that the owner's name? Or Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank came out today and said they are not necessarily committed to Matt Ryan as the future of their team. He is getting older, but they are on thin ice. Next game, Raiders at Chiefs, 40-24. That is not right. 34. Raiders win. Scott.
Hang on, I have to look up what I had on it. What was it? And the NFL's Enigma. That's the Raiders. They are, you never know what you're going to get out of them. They play really good against a really good team. They'll play really bad against a really bad team. Sometimes it's in between. They're the NFL's Enigma.
All right. Cardinals at Jets, 30-10. Cardinals win. Gage's rage.
I got Gase gotta go.
Why?
He's just garbage.
Really?
That guy, as soon as he touches anything, turns into poo-poo.
I agree with that.
The Cardinals are a good team. They beat a really bad team. Gase has gotta go.
Eagles at Steelers, 38-29. Steelers win. Star Lamar.
What matters most?
Like as in what?
No. Actually, the slogan for Chase Bank, and that's what they are. They're banking on Chase Claypool to score some touchdowns. So, Chase Bank, what matters most?
That's a deep take right there.
No.
Defense
Stretch.
matters a lot, too.
No.
30-10. Or Rams at the football team. 30-10. Rams win. I'm going to say Alex Smith Award. I think they're going to name the Comeback Player of the Year award after Alex Smith because it's a heroic way to come back. It touched a lot of people. People were excited. Not that way, Gage. Didn't touch people that way. I know what you were doing, but...
Cancer prevention.
Exactly. It was a horrible injury, horrific, to watch him come back, and although he didn't play well, to see him take a hit, take another snap, be able to play a game, it's amazing. I think for that, it's possible he's in contention for Comeback Player of the Year, just on the fact that he came back from a horrific injury like that.
And got sacked by one of the biggest dudes in the league 4 times.
Carried him. You ever seen that?
Participation trophy if he doesn't do anything the rest of the year, if you're going to give him that.
Is it Remembering the Giants? Is that the movie where the guy is
Denzel Washington.
hands and knees, and he's got the other guy on his back, and he's got to walk all the way across the field?
The Little Giants.
Little Giants. He's like,
Blindfolded.
no, it's not. They were like high school kids.
Little Giants is where they do the annexation of Puerto Rico with Icebox.
Oh yeah,
You never seen Little Giants?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, man.
What's the movie where the guy is? They're high school students, and he's blindfolded. He's crawling on his hands and knees, and the coach says you just have to go 10 yards. And then he's got a player on his back, and he's like, just 10 more yards.
10 more. Give me 10 more.
Just keep going. Don't give up. And then he goes the entire football field.
He goes through the
Is
end
that-
zone.
Is that the Little Giants?
No, it's not. But I've never seen that movie.
It's a
you're talking
faith-based
about.
movie,
It's
I
a-
believe.
Okay. So,
Clip
anyways,
is legendary, though.
very legendary. It's very motivational. Alex Smith Award.
Does it have Two-Face in it?
Harley
Harvey
Quinn.
Dent?
Harvey Dent. He might be the coach. It's a possibility.
Possibly.
I might have seen a trailer, but
You've
it
probably seen the
sounds-
Just
movie.
that
You've
clip.
seen every movie that's known to
sounds like
man.
it's not as good as Little Giants.
I think it's a good movie. I'd have to. The coach gets like a car or something. I don't know. Whatever. Dolphins at 49ers, 43-17. Dolphins win. Scott.
Love me Fitzmagic. The dude is a baller. He's a stud. I love him. Eventually, Tua's going to have the job, but for now, let's just enjoy Fitzmagic.
That wasn't your way of saying like, ooh, love me Fitzmagic all night long.
Oh no, I love me Fitzmagic all night long.
Are you saying Fitz or Fist?
He loves Fitzmagic.
The fist is magic.
Listen,
The fist is magic.
the irony of you saying this, Scott and I, never mind.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I told
The
you not to
movie
tell
was-
anybody, dude.
Facing the Giants.
Facing I knew it had Giants in it. Never mind. It's not a story for.
The one I
For
was
today.
thinking of is called My All-American. Different one.
All right. Next one. Giants at Cowboys. 37-34. Cowboys win. Gage's Rage.
If we could cue up the audio clip.
Yeah, I got to get it here. Hang on.
We ran it through the ground last time. We're trying to find it. We got to dig
Well,
it out.
I didn't know if you wanted it in both or if you just wanted it in
Oh.
the one.
I
We
think
need
it
them
needs to
on
be
both.
played forever. Like, come on, Tony.
I'm sorry. That was loud. I hope not.
Well, those are my words.
It's got to play an
Come
ad
on,
first.
Tony.
Are you saying come on, Tony, or come on, Tony?
It's like,
Come on,
man.
Tony.
Come on, Tony.
So
Like,
Scott,
where to come?
love me fist magic, and Gage is come on, Tony.
You can take it however you want. Perception.
I
right,
know.
Gage,
I
it's
heard
your-
the.
All right, Gage's Rage. You tell me when you're ready for it.
I'm ready now.
You almost gotta hope it's a cramp, don't you? If you're a Cowboy fan right there, but
Come on, Tony.
that does not look good, Jim.
Tony was watching Dak Prescott, who had a compound fracture. Blood all over the field. It was gruesome.
And what is compound fracture again?
Google says it's a open wound. So, Dallas Cowboys ended up winning with the Red Rocket. But the big news, Dak Prescott, compound fracture, out for a long time, 6 months. Hopefully it all goes well. Pictures today look like he had a good surgery. Hopefully it's a good, steady recovery, and he's ready for next season. Obviously, best wishes to Dak. But come on, Tony.
Come on, Tony. All right, 32-23. Browns win over the Colts. Star Lamar.
Bring back Brissett. I've been saying it from the jump. Phillip Rivers is not the answer in Indianapolis. I think he's actually holding them back. Threw 2 picks. One was a pick 6 to Ronnie Harrison. He played their way out of that game. The defense is too good for them to be losing to the Browns. Put in Jacoby Brissett. Have him be more of a game manager. Go through Jonathan Taylor. I think they'd have a better chance of succeeding throughout the entire year with Rivers not throwing picks.
I love the alliteration.
Yeah.
What are you jerking someone off?
Yeah,
Two
a chicken.
chickens.
Oh,
I'm choking it.
Choking the chickens.
Spankin' Hank.
that's what you named him?
Yes. Name my little guy Hank. My wife hates it.
And we're back from that awesome commercial break.
COVID is everywhere.
Oh, that's what you meant.
All right.
She also doesn't like Little B.
Little B Hank.
She's great on Fridays on K-Fan.
That sounds like it could be a country singer.
The smoke show from
It
Glencoe?
could be. Yeah.
Little B Hank.
Little B Hank. Be like a crossover. Be like a T-Swizzle.
Old T-Swift, though, right?
Old T-Swift.
Taylor Swift.
No, that's going to be
T-Pain.
Lil Wayne's.
She can't come to the phone right now.
It's going to be Lil
She's
Wayne's
dead.
son's country name because Lil Wayne's going to have a son that's
Gage
a
was
country artist.
listening to like Speak Now today.
I was jamming on the way in. Just
He comes
rocking
in. He's
out.
like, I was jamming on the way to your place today. I was like, oh yeah? He's like, yeah, I'm going to play you what I was listening to. It's like 2006 Taylor Swift. And it was
Prime
a
Taylor-
banger.
A banger.
It
The
was a
fucking
banger.
album track. Speak Now. It hits every time. And
Every
then
time, all the time.
Stacy's mom. Oh, you know. It was sunshine, windows down, hairs flying around. Felt good.
All right. Next game. Oh, that's me.
Minnesota Vikings.
The Vikings at the Seattle Seahawks. 27-26. Seahawks win. I say, go for it. Just go for it. Don't kick a field goal. Go for it.
I think we can all agree that we would have gone for it there. 4th and inches.
I've done it on Madden a million times, and I already told the Texans, I know they hired an interim head coach. I'm available. I tagged them on Twitter. I said, I'm actually pretty good at Madden. If you need a new head coach, call me.
I'm going to change the playbook up, though.
A little bit. A lot of slant routes.
Make the necessary changes.
A lot of slant routes. That's the Michael Thomas playbook.
Here's what we're going to do. You're going to hire me. I'm going to bring in my playbook, and you're going to get me 3 Michael Thomases. Deal?
And 1 controller. I'm going to get rid of everybody and just go for speed. Doesn't matter. Speed.
Speed is king.
No, for real, though. Would you guys have gone for it on 4th and short like the Vikings did last night against the Seahawks?
No.
Or would you have kicked field goal to go up 8?
The situation there, I can see both sides.
When I was watching, I wanted them to kick it because I thought regardless of what happened, they were coming down the field and scoring. So I'd rather have a
2-point
lead.
stand. Yeah, try and stop the 2.
But you wouldn't have rather the Vikings got those 6 inches and then the game been over and Russell Wilson never touches the football?
The best route to winning going against an elite quarterback is to keep it out of their hands.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's why I was okay with
the
going
way the
for
running
it.
game was going. Yeah, absolutely go for it.
You're a 1-3 team against a 4-0 team. In theory, what do you have to lose?
Can you
The
imagine?
Yeah,
Okay,
but
quoting the great Brandino from last night.
Can you imagine though if you missed that field goal?
well,
with
there's
our-
no guarantee he would have made it.
with our
Chances
kicker
are good,
woes?
but
That would have just been heartbreaking. Why did you kick it? Why don't you? It's a lose-lose.
I think you go for it. And like Madden said back in the 2000 Madden games, it's if you go for it on 4th down, you're the hero. If you don't, everybody's second guessing you next week. Just go for it.
did he really say that, or is that just what you heard from what you said?
He said it in the Madden game.
You said it a shitload too.
A lot. I mean, and they had the same 5 phrases after every play. So I'm pretty sure I'm right.
So if you go for it, you're the hero? Like, if you go for it, no matter what, you're going to be the hero?
If you get it. If you get it.
Okay, there you go. That's an important part of that.
No, it's not.
Very
Is
important.
this actual Madden game or the head coach game?
The actual
This is
Madden
back in
game.
like 05.
Yeah. Mid-2000s.
Did you guys have the head coach
Oh, yeah,
Madden
I did.
game?
Yeah.
The one season it was out, and you had to get the headset for it. Wasn't Tony Dungy on the cover?
I think it was.
Or was it Coward?
It was Coward.
There might be more than just one head coach.
There might have been 2 of them made, actually.
There was. Coward was one, and Tony Dungy was the other. So,
So you're both right.
we're both right. Wow,
Imagine
feels
that.
good. Look
we
at
can
us,
have a
Star.
disagreement on the butthole and both be right.
No, I'm right.
Butthole beef.
I want my 30 seconds. Okay, listen here.
35.
I'm right.
Do we have any games left?
Yeah, no. I think that about is. That's about
Scott,
it.
you want to do the one that's on right now?
I got one.
Yeah, JK. What? Go.
Michael Thomas dud. I mean, he has 0 points so far, 0 targets. He's not
Sure.
playing very well off of his ankle.
What a great take.
You know who else is a dud currently? Josh Kelly. You know who I didn't need to be a dud? Josh Kelly.
Hey, I got one for the game that was canceled.
If you, oh, are you just gonna steal mine?
CCC strikes again. Fuck you, COVID cancel culture.
Oh, Jesus. That'll get us censored. Moving on. Let's just jump
People
right
have to
over
listen
that.
to
We don't
get
need to
censored.
elaborate. We don't need to elaborate on that. Standings in the teams draft. Scott has 27 wins. Star has 22. Gage has 13. Brandon has 12.
I think we should have a debate on whether or not we score points when my teams lose. I'm going to open up the floor for debate.
35 seconds.
Honestly, it just seems unfair. It seems targeting. I don't feel like I had great picks. I'm dealing with a lot of injuries this year. A bad Falcons team. They fired their head coach. How am I supposed to predict that before the season starts? Drew Lock goes down with injury.
So you think we should redraft?
Redraft right now, start over, and we'll just take the points that they already have. I think, honestly, I should probably have both the Ravens and the Steelers right now. I think that's only fair. I'm at 28 seconds. I guess I'd take the Packers, the Seahawks, and the
10.
Chiefs.
Any objections? None? Cool. The standings in locks and long shots, which is now under fire by Gage. Scott is 17-6. Star is 16-6-1, half a game back of the lead. Gage had a nice week this week. He's up to 14-9. And Brandon is still in the rear with 9-12-1.
It's a good place to be.
That one tie really helps.
It does. I think we should, honestly, I'd argue that it should be 9.5 and 12.5 or whatever.
So here we go now. Locks and long shots this week. Game number 1, boys. Chiefs at Bills, which has been moved from Thursday night to now, I think it's Monday night.
Yep.
The early Monday night game?
4:00.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
All day football Monday.
Who do you guys
go.
have winning between the Chiefs and the Bills? Gage's Rage, we'll start with you.
Bills Mafia.
You're on the Browns train now?
No, I am
As
not.
a Bills Mafia,
Solidly leader of the caboose on the Bills Mafia.
the most senior Bills Mafia
How many
person.
tables have you broken? I rest my case.
I've been involved in a handful of table breaks.
That seems false.
Been
You
around.
have been an innocent bystander to 2 of them at least I've seen.
At
It
least.
is
Well-
a bystander. You can't be Bills
I
Mafia.
shouldn't even say I'm innocent.
No
You've been an
innocent
active
Bills
bystander.
I was
There we
also
go.
involved
Accurate.
in a door smash.
All right.
Two
prove
of
it.
them.
Prove it. Who's
That's
your
true,
pick on
too.
this game?
I'm picking the Chiefs.
Bills Mafia. That's me.
You can't do a Bills Mafia that excited until they win the game.
They're going to win. I know it already. I
Okay.
picked them.
Win or lose, we still booze.
True.
I'm going Chiefs. Star, who you got?
I'm taking Chiefs too. They're not going back-to-back losses.
That's what I thought too.
They're
Patrick Mahomes
they're
isn't that
censoring
good.
out the Dak Prescott injury on ESPN now.
Yeah, because it's cancel
It's brutal.
culture. We're living
should
in
censor
cancel
Not
culture.
Cancel culture. It's because it's fucking Mortal Kombat fatality on
Totally
the
cancel
TV.
culture.
can't
It's definitely
show that on
cancel
TV.
culture. Game number 2, Browns at Steelers. Star Lamar, who do you got winning this game?
I know I picked one earlier, and I'm kind of going back and forth in my head about what I want. Steelers are undefeated. They're sitting atop the North right now. Browns have their best start since 1994. They're kind of the hot team. I'm going to stick with what I picked earlier, and I'm going with the Browns.
You have a
Brandon?
beef, you say it.
Yeah, I got a butthole beef. You're saying you're the Browns Mafia? You're the Bills Mafia?
Oh, I never claimed
Who's
Browns
your pick
Mafia.
here? Who's your pick here, Brandon?
I never claimed
No,
Browns
I claimed
Mafia.
the Browns.
Oh, well, who's your pick?
Steelers.
What the fuck? You guys hedge your bets so much. This is bullshit.
I never picked the Browns.
Next week, Scott's coming out with a stud and dud and the same player.
Dude, I can like the Browns and have them
50%.
still losing to the Steelers.
It's going to be 50. What if I did that, huh? My rates would go up, actually. I could just stud dud everyone.
They would go up.
You'd always be under 50.
They'd stay, wouldn't they?
No, I'd steadily rise because I'm not at 500 yet.
But you would never get over 50.
Technically.
Technically,
$4,999.
I'd do better than I've been doing, so fuck it.
That's for sure. I'm also taking the Steelers in this game.
I'm taking the Browns.
Game number 3, Packers at Bucks. This is a hell of a good matchup. We'll start with me. I'm taking the Packers to win that game. Star Lamar, who you got?
I did pick the Packers earlier, although Tom is also one of those guys you don't really lose back-to-backs. I just think the Packers, they're the best team in the league right now. I'm picking the Packers.
The Buccaneers at home. Give me TB12. Scott, where did DK Metcalf touch you? What happened to the purple? You're picking Packers now, just willingly?
Point on this doll where he touched you.
No, I'm just trying to give the listeners, like a good record, and I'm picking the Packers.
My hands are so big.
I think it's going to be a tough one. That might actually be their first loss of the season.
Bucks at home.
Bucks, give me Bucks.
Classic trap game.
They could fill that stadium if they wanted to.
Now, locks and long shots. Let's get into our locks and long shots. Gage's Rage, we'll start with you. Give me your lock. Give me your long shot.
I will take the Colts over the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are shit.
Are the Colts underdogs?
It doesn't matter. That's my fucking lock. All right? My long shot, that's the one where the underdog matters. It's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Lions.
Will they be underdogs
I
come Sunday morning?
guarantee they'll be underdogs.
Are the Jags overdogs?
Jags are shit.
Are the Jags overdogs?
Lions are less shit. Jags will win.
Star Lamar, now to you.
My lock, I'm going to go with those Miami Dolphins over the New York Jets. I think they're hot right now. They're going to ride that on a bad team. For my long shot, I'm going with the Washington football team over the New York football Giants.
Brandon?
Winner of the dumpster bowl.
Yeah. Someone's got to win it.
I picked that as well. My long shot is also the football team over the Giants. I think they have a better roster. And then my lock is going to be the Tennessee Titans over the Texans.
For me, I'm going my lock, Ravens over Eagles. I like the Ravens this week over the Eagles. And my long shot, I'm going to go the Chicago Bears over the Carolina Panthers. And what's an interesting...
Kind of a surprising underdog.
It is. I think it says a lot more about Carolina. People are starting to believe in Carolina, as I think they should. They've kind of been a feel-good story so far this year.
Smart bettors will move this line.
And plus, I do trust... I think the biggest reason this line is the way it is they trust Bridgewater over Foles. And I think I would, too. I'm a Teddy Bridgewater apologist. With that being said...
You seem to apologize a lot.
It's not a literal apologist. It's that
You claim to apologize.
I would apologize for any wrongdoing they've ever done.
You're sorry for CeeDee Lamb?
I'm not sorry for CeeDee Lamb at all.
Apologize for CeeDee Lamb?
I'm a CeeDee Lamb apologist, too.
Ruggs. Yeah,
Let's get into some Budhole 5. Here we go.
Oh, shit. All right, put me on the spot. I'm eating.
We'll play
We're
the intro
recording
music.
a podcast, damn it. Stop eating.
Fucking hungry.
All right. We're hitting the brainwave.
It is now time to play Budhole 5.
Just want to dance.
If you can't
This song
jam
is
to
a
that,
shredder.
yeah, if you're not
This is
6
like
to midnight when that starts playing, you're not living.
right on par with old Taylor Swift.
I was
Speak
6
now.
to midnight before it started playing. Now I'm really 6 to midnight.
Doesn't it remind you of like Wii Sports or like
Yeah.
Mario
When
Sunshine or
Wii
something
Sports
like that?
starts up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're looking at tennis or bowling.
You heard
The
the
Wii
lady.
Sports Resort. That one.
Oh, that was a good game.
Tanks.
Well, it is now time to play the Budhole 5. Everybody knows the rules, but I'm going to explain them anyway. You have 30 seconds
35.
to name the top 5 in whatever category I give you. It could be sports, video games, movies, etc. You get a point for each correct answer. If there is a tie, we will go into a 20-second tiebreaker round for items 6 through 10. If there happens to be a tie after that, we will go back and forth on pick 11. If the first person gets it right on pick 11, there'll be a one-time rebuttal on pick 12. Time starts after I finish reading the first question. Through 4 weeks in full point, standard, PPR, non-superflex, give me the top 5 fantasy scoring tight ends. Through 4 weeks, the top 5 fantasy scoring tight ends.
The Budhole 5 is brought to you by your favorite DFS site, Thrive Fantasy. They have eliminated the need to do countless hours of research because they only ask you about the top-tier athletes in a respective sport. Each prop has a fantasy point total associated with the over-under based on its likelihood to occur. So the more points a selection is worth, the riskier it is. Rack up the most points to win your share of the prize pool. Use promo code BUD, B-U-D, when you sign up today and you will receive an instant $20 bonus on your first deposit of $20 or more.
All right, pencils down, Gage. Pencils down. Pencils down. Stop. Pens.
I suck
pen today.
at this game.
Toss me your pen. I need your pen.
What are we starting with here, Brandy? No.
We are going to start with the reigning Budhole 5 champion, Star Lamar.
If you guys want to help me out with the name on this one, you can. All right, so I have Darren Waller, Zach Ertz, Mark Andrews, and Fajin, the Packers guy who just went off for 3 touchdowns.
Oh, Robert Tunyon? Robert Tunyon?
Robert Tunyon.
No, come on. You said an F.
No, I'd said...
He said...
He's totally out. That is not a Tunyon.
I think he was close on it, though.
Green Bay tight end don't
he
work.
might not be top 5.
Oh, weird. Gage is all about it when it fits his bill, but when it doesn't, he won't give you the point. Weird.
I was saying Tunyon.
Oh my god, I'm gonna dropkick fucking Scott on the way home.
Yes. All right, Gage's Rage, the Dropkick King. You're up
Tunyon
next.
is on my list, not Green Bay tight ends.
Tunyon.
Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, and I said O.J. Howard for whatever fucking reason.
I had the exact same list as Gage. Tunyon, Kelce, Andrews, Waller, George Kittle.
Oh, fuck.
Might I add, George Kittle was out for 2 weeks.
But he also had
Still
a
in
40-point game.
We have a 2-way tie, even including Star Lamar's Green Bay Packers Tunyon. He only got 3 correct. 4 correct between Gage's Rage and Scott.
Who was the 5th? Not O.J., not Kittle.
Noah Fant.
So it went Kelce, Andrews,
I
Waller,
own him.
Tunyon, Fant.
Kelce, Tunyon, Waller, Fant, Andrews. Through 4 weeks.
Okay.
Now, 30-second tiebreaker round. Good luck. At least you can just chill now, Star.
Tunyon.
You couldn't think of the name?
No. And I forgot Kelce.
Yeah. He had a bad week this week, though. Through 5, he might not be top 5. No, he did score a touchdown. All right, pencils down, Gage.
I only had 3.
I only had 2.
All right, well, we'll start with Scott this round in the tiebreaker. Let's hear items 6 through 10.
I had Jimmy Graham, George Kittle, Jonnu Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he takes it. I had Kittle and Reed. They play for the same team.
We have a tie. You both got Kittle right. No, you got Kittle. You didn't say Kittle, right?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
And Jonnu Smith?
Yep.
Scott wins 2-1.
Nice
It
one.
goes-
Hawkinson on there?
Hawk is actually number 10. It goes George Kittle, Jonnu Smith, Tyler Higbee. Dalton Schultz is 6, and then Hawk is 10. Jimmy Grandpa was 11, and Mike Gesicki was 12. Congratulations to Scott.
Nice win.
And that wraps up the podcast. Gage's Rage, Star Lamar. Hit him with the sign off. Go jerk off.
Bye.
Wish I didn't have to hear that. I can't do it after that.
Do it.
Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Budhole. Check us out on Twitter as well, @OfficialBudhole, Instagram, @OfficialBudhole, TikTok, @OfficialBudhole. And if you have questions or comments, email us at officialbudhole@gmail.com. Also, make sure to check out our Spring website where we have sweatshirts and t-shirts, and our website itself where we post blogs and whatnot. Both of the links will be posted in our description for the episode. Please leave a rating on whichever platform you're listening on, as well as make sure to hit that subscribe button so we continue to bring you the great content we create, as well as make it even better for the future. We love you all. Peace out.
Have you seen those TikToks?
Presidents?
Make Donald Trump set him as a president.
All right, cut it.
Yeah, I put him as a president.